This is the Mini Mobile Show for Tuesday, July 27th, 2010. Today, jailbreaking your phone becomes legal, Samsung can't keep those big screens coming, and a little information about how your phone could be hacked. Plus, our sponsor 1-800-PET-MEDS will have a great offer just for our viewers. Stay tuned. Hi, thanks for joining us on the Mini Mobile Show. Let's get right into the news. In a surprising move, the keepers of the Digital Millennium Copyright Act at the Library of Congress have cleared the way for legal jailbreaking of smartphones. This is the exception for the next 3 years. Now, every 3 years, they take a look and see what could be fair use exceptions to the DMCA. In addition to a few other things around DVDs, clips for use inside of education, etc., jailbreaking your phone now is covered by fair use. So if you want to load applications that aren't necessarily supported by the vendor, you're allowed to actually hack that phone. So the argument has always been, do you own the phone, or does, for example, Apple own the phone and just give you the right to use it? So it looks like now it also includes unlocking your phone. Although the AMOLED screens have been a big hit as a feature, Samsung can't keep up. So HTC has announced versions of their phones with the new Sony Super LCD display. Now this applies mostly to the HTC Android phones that have been such a big hit. AMOLED works very well at different viewing angles and is good at power efficiency, but it seems like these new Sony Super LCD displays do pretty well as well. Now, phones with the 3.7-inch displays are the ones we're talking about. These include the Desire and the Global Nexus 1. Now, we thought the Nexus 1 was out of stock, but apparently they still have some orders to fulfill globally. Now, in AT&T's constant battle for bandwidth, their pilot program to bring outdoor Wi-Fi to city centers has expanded. It already has a Times Square hotspot, but they are also adding Charlotte and Chicago hotspots. Now, the New York City Times Square location has had pretty high demand. In fact, they're planning on expanding that as well. Now, this is a response to big centers where lots of smartphone use is expected, and Wi-Fi really alleviates the need to be on 3G during those times. And by the way, if you're going to be near one of these pilot programs of these Wi-Fi smart hotspots, they're going to be free for any AT&T smartphone user, no extra charge. Now finally, those slow iPhone upload problems caused by Lucent carrier equipment are starting to get their software fixed. Expect the fix to be fully deployed in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Now, we reported a couple weeks ago that some users were seeing all of a sudden really slow upload times, especially on the brand new iPhone 4s. So those slow responses were apparently tracked down to some carrier equipment made by Lucent. Now they're rolling out the firmware update and it should be ready, but it's only really happening to about 2% of its customer base, at least according to AT&T. So when you're sending photos and email from the device, you may have noticed slowness. You should see that pick up. If you don't see it pick up, you may want to call AT&T again. Now that's the Mini Mobile News. We'll be right back with the Mini Mobile Focus. We just wanted to let you know that the Mini Mobile Show is a paid affiliate today of 1-800-PET-MEDS. Save on your pet's medications. You know your pet needs those medications and you always have to go down to the store and wait for them, but you can just get them delivered to you, saving you time and money. Now there's great savings, the fast service, the free shipping on orders of $39 or more. You can get that at 1-800-PET-MEDS. So just go to 1-800-PETMEDS.com/minishow, and for being a viewer, they're going to give you an extra 10% off any order. That's 10% off any order and free shipping on orders of $39 or more at 1-800-PETMEDS.com/minishow. Today in the Mini Mobile Focus, we wanted to talk about security. Now, if you've ever wondered how secure your wireless data is, we got news for you. The hackers, they have an answer. Today, I'll discuss some of the stuff that the hackers can do to put your privacy in jeopardy. Number one, we all seem to use some sort of network, CDMA or GSM. GSM is a very common network type, used pretty much universally in most countries and in the US on networks like AT&T. But the encryption algorithms used by GSM have been cracked. Now, the program that cracks the security of GSM has been updated recently, called Kraken. Funny enough, it's been updated to break the A5/1 encryption even faster than it had been previously, opening the ability to possibly eavesdrop on conversations. It could also offer future ways to hack smartphones, for example, because it's another way in. Now, at this point, GSM hacking is becoming closer to a practical application. Just like password hacking and hacking via websites are typical on your PC, this could become a common method of attack. So you're going to want to keep your eye on the news for that one. Now, another method of getting at your phone is through associated accounts. iPhone, for example, is tied closely to your iTunes account. You're pretty much forced to set one up if you want to sync your music, sync your photos, or do any kind of app downloads. Now, to hack those accounts, it seems to be becoming pretty common. Recently, some accounts were hacked to buy strange apps that go into hundreds of dollars. In addition, the ability to set up app purchases to open credit cards up to hacking have become fairly common through a system of micro purchases. This is pretty common in some gaming. Now, some gaming has true secure micro purchases where you can purchase things inside the game to make the game go faster or level up quickly. But some of these games actually hack your accounts and go out and purchase things on your accounts that you had possibly never even known you were going to do. So you're going to want to watch out for that, associated accounts to your phone. Now, Apple does screen all of their apps before they're allowed in the App Store, but that doesn't seem to be stopping everything. Apple says this keeps out the riffraff, but for those iPhone apps that aren't necessarily secure, some holes are being opened up. Just today, Citi announced an update to their iPhone app because existing version, they store information about accounts on the local phone in an area of the phone that's supposed to be quote-unquote hidden. Now, in this area of PCI compliance, where credit card numbers aren't supposed to live anywhere but a secure server, it's hard to see how this happened, especially through a company like Citi, but all it would take is some reverse engineering to crack that account information. Someone needs you to just grab your phone or be able to access that phone in some way. And it may be an actual, let's say, driver for hackers to be able to want to get into your phones from remote ways such as Wi-Fi or GSM. So far, phones haven't had to have antivirus installed. That doesn't mean antivirus isn't available. I doubt anyone but corporations run these apps simply for liability purposes and the fact that their contracts include the software. My old Windows 6.0 phone actually came with antivirus on it. But the biggest way to get hacked is by leaving your phone unattended without a passcode, not by viruses. This is how your information can be all of a sudden in the wild. All your contacts, lots of personal information there. So if you're concerned with theft, use PIN codes available for your phone that require you to type in a PIN before you can open the phone. And if you're concerned about your phone leaving your desk or getting out into the wild, maybe you're in an area where maybe phone theft is common, you may want to look into the remote wipe features available for your phone. For example, MobileMe, the subscription service from Apple, allows you to do a remote wipe with the Find Phone feature. So if you can't find your phone, you can't track it down, you can actually remote wipe it and get all that sensitive data off that phone without ever having to touch it. Now that's the mini mobile focus on security. We'll be right back. Once again, we want to thank our Mini Mobile Show affiliate, 1-800-PET-MEDS. Remember to go to 1-800-PET-MEDS.com/minishow for any of your pet medication needs. And that's the show for today. Remember to check us out on Twitter at Mini Mobile Show. You can find the show in a couple different places, theminimobileshow.mevio.com, or out on YouTube. Just search for The Mini Mobile Show. We'll see you tomorrow.